Welcome to another edition of World Championship Wrestling. We are backstage where Black Bart has just Pearl Harbored the man with the hands of stone, Ron Garvin. Ron Garvin was getting ready to go to the ring to face Arn Anderson for the TV title, but Black Bart now taking it to Garvin. Garvin is down, stomping the legs. We've seen Black Bart attack Ron Garvin in recent weeks, and this time trying to put him out of commission. Black Bart putting the boots to Garvin. We've got to get some help. We've got to get this broken up here. Ron Garvin has a match to wrestle. He just threw him into the brick wall. And Black Bart putting those cowboy boots to Ron Garvin. Let's get some help for Ron Garvin. Face first. Spins him around. And Black Bart really manhandling Garvin. And Bart running away here. What's he doing? He's getting a chair. He's getting a chair. Someone's got to stop this madness. Garvin getting to his feet. No. Black Bart. DDT on that steel chair. And now Bart. Someone's got to break this up. Ron Garvin needs some help. He just walloped him with that chair. Welcome to Atlanta, Georgia. Josh with you. And fans, we've had to go to a standby match.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Texas, weighing in at 224 pounds, Dirty Doug Mantel.
Dirty Dutch Mantel to take on the newly crowned world champion Magnum TA. And fans, our prayers definitely with the family and friends and fans of Hulk Hogan, who passed away Thursday, July 24th. So definitely thinking of the family during this time and how much Hulk Hogan meant to each of us. Tremendous ovation for Magnum TA.
And his opponent from Virginia Beach, Virginia, weighing in at 245 pounds, the WCW World Heavyweight Champion, Magnum TA.
This is a non-title match. If you ever met Hulk Hogan, let me know what that experience was like in the comments. I never got to meet Hogan, but I will one day. And the reason being is because in the Gospel of John, chapter 3, verse 36, he that believeth on the Son hath everlasting life, and he that believeth not the Son shall not see life, for the wrath of God abides on him. So my sins, Hogan's sins, definitely covered under the blood of the Lord Jesus Christ. And Dutch Mantel trying to make the most of this opportunity here as he takes on the world champion Magnum TA. Again, this is a non-title match. Magnum now with a good takedown. Takes down Dirty Dutch Mantel and the leg drop across the throat. We are with you for until about 6:50 this evening on the East Coast. So a shorter program here this evening. What a night it was last Saturday. At the Great American Bash, we saw 4 new champions crowned. And we'll see every one of those here this evening in action. The World Tag Team Champions, the Rock and Roll Express, are here. Thought Magnum was going after the referee for a moment, but now focuses back on Dutch Mantel. Russian leg sweep coming up. Good execution by the champion. The new U.S. champion is here, Sting. He's in action. We have new U.S. Tag Team Champions, Rick Steiner and Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. They're here. And fans, we had a TV title match for you, but now that match has been scrapped. Anderson was set to defend the TV title against Hands of Stone Ron Garvin, but Ron Garvin, after being attacked by Black Bart at the top of the program, has been transported to the hospital for evaluation. He received several chair shots at the hands of Black Bart, and now Dutch Mantel taking it to the world champion. Magnum rolls out of the ring. What a victory inside the steel cage by Magnum TA over Ric Flair. And Dirty Dutch Mantel celebrating way too early. Leaping leg drop by the champion. If Dutch Mantel could pull off an upset here, he would surely be in line for a world title shot. Solid kick there by Magnum. It was overall a good night for the Four Horsemen. Dutch Mantel leaps up and over. He knew the belly-to-belly suplex was coming. Good counter there by Mantel to get out of the ring and avoid that vicious hold. Or perhaps he just delayed it. Yeah, here it comes. Belly-to-belly. He landed it. Cover. Leg hooked. 2. Impressive victory for the boss, the world champion Magnum TA, right here on World Championship Wrestling. Let's have one more look at that belly-to-belly suplex. Wait a minute, Ric Flair has run down the aisle, and he's attacked Magnum TA from behind. The former world champion now taking it to Magnum, putting the boots to him, elbow drop across the chest. And Flair, angered about losing the title last week, he is seeking revenge and taking out his frustrations on the world champion. Flair now throws him up and over. Magnum hangs on, but not for long. That right hand sent him sailing to the floor. And now Flair, he's looking for a weapon. He's got a chair. He just brained Magnum TA with a chair right across the head. And now wailing the world champion. The fans shouting at Flair. He yelled something back at the fans. We'll be right back. Welcome back, wrestling fans. Randy and Bill Mulkey in the ring, set to take on the new World Tag Team Champions, Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson, the Rock and Roll Express.
And their opponents, at a combined weight of 469 pounds, the Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson, the Rock and Roll Express.
Tremendous ovation for Ricky and Robert. What a win last week inside the steel cage. Jim Cornette still angry about that special stipulation where he was barred from ringside, and also that the titles could change hands by both members of the team escaping the cage. And that is how the Rock and Roll Express defeated the Midnight Express here last week. Right in Baltimore, Maryland. Another sold-out crowd here tonight in Atlanta, Georgia. It is Bill Mulkey starting things off against Ricky Morton. High knee lift there by one half of the tag team champions. Russian leg sweep here by Ricky. Flair left as soon as he saw Doug Dillinger approaching. Doug Dillinger, of course, the head of security. Flair attacking Magnum. Magnum being treated in the locker room by our medical team. Flair obviously hasn't forgotten the grudge he holds against Magnum TA. He wants that world title back. Perhaps he hates him now more than ever. Randy Mulkey tags himself in. Gibson greets him with a right hand, right in the kisser. Now a flurry of punches here to the kisser. Good lefts there by Robert Gibson. Bill Mulkey unable to get out of the ring. Finally does. Tag made here to Ricky. Double team. Punched him right in the rib cage. Standing vertical suplex. It was a good clothesline there by Randy Mulkey. It was a relatively good night for the Horsemen until the main event, where Ric Flair lost the world title. And Randy Mulkey now taking it to Ricky Morton. Robert Gibson, realizing his partner needs some help, tried to enter the ring, but referee Bill Scott ordered him out. Good block there by Ricky, and a right hand. Ricky now going for the suplex. Can he get him up? Yes, he can. Textbook suplex. Randy trying to crawl over and make the tag. Ricky picks him up. Whips him into the corner. And Bill tags himself in. Morton ready for him. Good right there by Bill Mulkey. Steiner by Ricky Morton. Flying fist drop. He's got Randy now. Randy Malky, shoulder first into the steel post. Another leaping fist drop. Inside cradle here by Morton, trying to put it away early. One count only. Tully Blanchard, of course, defeated Dusty Rhodes inside that steel cage. Great win for him. Went for the right hand. Randy moved out of the way, but only temporarily. Ricky Morton now tagging in Robert Gibson. Double team coming up. The double drop kick. Right on the button. Covered by Gibson. Referee slow to get into position. 1, 2, and this one's in the books. Impressive win by the Rock and Roll Express in this non-title match. Fans also here tonight, Sam Houston, Tommy Rich is here. The Powers of Pain will take on Chief Wahoo McDaniel and the Italian Stallion. And fans, I don't think Arn Anderson's going to like this. He's not getting out of wrestling tonight. He's got to take on Manny Fernandez, and that will be for the TV title. That's our main event later tonight. Just announced a standby match since Ron Garvin was unable to wrestle after the attack by Black Bart. It'll be Manny Fernandez moving into the spot. That rematch for the World Television title. As you know, Fernandez took Anderson to the limit, to the time limit draw weeks ago.
The Midnight Express have hit the ring, and they take it down. The Rock and Roll Express. Bobby Eaton from behind.
The former champions taking it to the Rock and Roll Express. As I mentioned, Jim Cornette felt like they were cheated with that extra stipulation put in. And they are taking apart the World Tag Team Champions right here in Atlanta. They obviously want a rematch, and they deserve it. We'll be right back. Welcome back, wrestling fans. Rip Rogers in the ring. He will take on the U.S. champion Sting.
And his opponent, accompanied by Melissa. And from Venice Beach, California, weighing in at 251 pounds, the WCW United States Champion. This is Sting!
If you missed the program last week, you might be wondering why is Missy Hyatt accompanying the U.S. champion Sting to the ring? Well, he is the newest member of Hot Stuff International, joining the U.S. Tag Team Champions Rick Steiner and Eddie Gilbert. What a stable Hyatt has put together. Sting defeated Nikita Koloff last week with a Scorpion Deathlock to capture the gold. Good chop there by Sting. Technically, I guess it's silver. Leg drop across the throat. Leaping elbow drop by the Stinger, and they're behind him here in Atlanta. The new U.S. champion. This is a non-title match. Rip Rogers is not a top contender to the U.S. title. Rogers goes to the eyes. Good clothesline there by Rip. Rip Rogers picks him up. Sting, fireman carry takeover. Sting pounding the chest. He is fired up here this evening. And don't forget, coming in October, WCW Lethal Lottery and Battle Bowl. 60 wrestlers will compete in that. Really looking forward to that event. Hope you are too. Suplex here by Sting. All the blood rushing to the head of Rip Rogers. Beautiful suplex. Powers of Pain, of course, taking on Chief Wahoo McDaniel and Italian Stallion later on. And we have a TV title match for you. Manny Fernandez gets a rematch against the TV champion, Arn Anderson. Sting picks him up. Rogers, though, fighting back. Good move here by Rogers. What a DDT. Rogers trying to upend Sting. Sting has him up. Takes him down. Sting again, military pressing Rogers. And drops him. Whips him into the ropes. Stinger splash! Sting grabs the legs, steps inside, tries to turn him over and does. The Scorpion Deathlock locked in on Rip Rogers, and this one's over. Rogers gives up. Another impressive win for Sting. Sting seems as fired up as ever since joining Hot Stuff International. There, take another look at it. The Scorpion Deathlock, the move that won him the U.S. Championship from Nikita Koloff.
Speaking of Koloff, here he comes down the rampway. He is running down. Look out, Sting. From behind, he's hit the ring. He's hit the ring. He's got Sting up. Slammed him down. The former U.S. champion, following the trend here tonight, attacking the former champ's Russian sickle. Sting's just wrestled a match. And Koloff trying to exert his dominance here. We'll be right back. Welcome back, wrestling fans. Thunderfoot 1, Thunderfoot 2 in the ring. They will take on the U.S. Tag Team Champions, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert and Rick Steiner. This is a non-title match.
Is scheduled for
Wait a minute, there's a former champions. It's Baron von Raschke and Ivan Koloff from behind. The champions don't see him. Down goes Steiner. Eddie Gilbert seems stunned. Good drop toe hold there by Gilbert. He's fighting back. But Baron's got him. Baron's got him. Suplex. Rick Steiner gets to his feet. Baron's got him though. This was supposed to be a match between Thunderfoot 1 and 2. Thunderfoot 1 and 2 and the new U.S. Tag Team Champions. But the former champions taking it to Gilbert and Steiner. But Steiner's fighting back. Steiner's got Baron. Throws him toward the ring. He wants him in the ring. Steiner says, you want a match? You got it. But Baron takes down Steiner. Throws him up the rampway. We've got to restore some order. Fans, I just heard they're throwing this match out. They're throwing this match out as a no contest. They're telling Thunderfoot 1 and 2 to head back to the dressing room. It was a non-title match anyway. Baron takes the title to Steiner. We'll be right back. Welcome back, wrestling fans. A no contest between Thunderfoot 1 and 2 and the U.S. Tag Team Champions. In the ring, Scott Sandlin taking on Sam Houston. Good uppercut there by Houston. A lot of sour grapes and bad blood boiling here in World Championship Wrestling from the former champions. It looks like they had it planned here tonight to attack all the current champions. Everybody who lost the title last week plotted together to sneak attack the current champs. And it played out well. Gilbert and Steiner fought back, and they were fighting up the rampway. Kudos to Doug Dillinger and our security team for breaking up that fight. Roll up here by Houston. Might have him too. Near fall. Nearly pinned Scott Sandlin. Into the ropes goes Scott. Good arm drag. Actually, it was a hip toss. Beautiful hip toss there by Houston. Off the ropes again. Nice drop kick. No one does it better than Sam Houston. Sam Houston will be watching that TV title match very closely here tonight. He would love to challenge the winner. Whether it's Manny Fernandez, a friend, or a foe like Arn Anderson. Houston would gladly sign his name on the dotted line for a title match. Good knee to the face by Houston. Sam going for the suplex. Has him up. Beautiful move there by Houston. In action still, Tommy Rich, Italian Stallion, and Wahoo McDaniel taking on Barbarian and Warlord. And of course, just signed earlier, Manny Fernandez challenging Arn Anderson for the World Television title. What a match last week between Anderson and Brad Armstrong. Brad Armstrong gave it his all, but Anderson prevailed. Houston going for the Bulldog. He planted him. And Scott Sandlin has been busted open. The blood pouring from the forehead. And this one's over. Impressive win by Sam Houston. Houston better be watching his back. The trend here tonight has been sneak attacks. Anybody could come after Sam Houston. And there you see it, the Bulldog. And Houston wraps him up for the 1-2-3.
Here is your winner, Sam Hughes Tim.
We'll be right back. In the ring, Lee Scott and Wildfire Tommy Rich. Referee Bill Scott calls for the bell. No relation to Lee Scott, at least as far as I know. Good, no, nice move there by Rich. I thought Lee Scott was going for a neck breaker, but Rich reversed it. Rich just slapped the face of Lee Scott. Unorthodox move there by Tommy Rich, usually mild-mannered. Picks him up. Into the corner goes Lee. Sets him up on the top rope. And Rich going up top as well. High risk move. He is going for the superplex, and he executes it. Great job there by Wildfire Tommy Rich. Leaping elbow drop. Right to the chest. Rich now picks him up. Into the corner goes Lee Scott. Charging in with a beautiful drop kick that planted him. And Rich now working on the leg. Rich now sends Scott in for the ride. Another great drop kick by Wildfire Tommy Rich. Armbar here by, actually an arm lock you might call it. Arm leg lock maybe. And Rich going for the figure four. Trying to make Lee Scott submit. As you know, I liked both programs as a kid back in the 80s. I liked the World Championship Wrestling the best. The National Wrestling Alliance under Jim Crockett Promotions. But I also liked the World Wrestling Federation. Cover here by Rich. Wraps up the leg. 1, 2. Easy win here tonight for Wildfire Tommy Rich. And Hulk Hogan had an impact on anybody who grew up in the 80s.
Here is your winner, Tommy.
He put wrestling on the map. And he did a lot of great for WCW as well in 1994. We'll talk more about this after this break. It is time for tag team action. Chief Wahoo McDaniel and the Italian Stallion teaming up to take on the Powers of Pain, Barbarian and Warlord.
For one fall, on the way to the ring, at a combined weight of 545 pounds, Italian Stallion and McDaniel.
So when Hogan was signed to World Championship Wrestling, it really made them a major player in the eyes of people who weren't really wrestling fans. It put WCW on the map, so to speak, when Hogan went there. And Hogan was very content to stay in World Championship Wrestling. He wanted to.
Accompanied by Paul Jones. And at a combined weight of 621 pounds, the Barbarian and Warlord, the Powers of Pain.
So I think he was sad about WCW closing like we were. Of course, he went on to back to the WWE where he had a classic match against The Rock. The Italian Stallion will start things off against the Barbarian. I have a back issue, obviously, of Pro Wrestling Illustrated. I think it's from 94 where it insinuated that Hulk Hogan might be interested in buying World Championship Wrestling at that time. I wish he had. They'd probably still be around today. Cover here by Stallion. A quick kick out by the Barbarian. Wish that deal that Eric Bischoff had planned had gone through. Good slam there by the Barbarian. Military press. Slams him down. In fact, Eric Bischoff and Hogan, I believe, were working on a new promotion, but it was like amateur wrestling. I'm not sure if that's going to continue now or not. Let me know if you know the details of that. It would have been awesome if they would have, back in, 2001, kept WCW going and brought it back to its roots. What it was like in the 80s and 90s, even the late 90s. No complaints here about the late 90s from me. The New World Order angle was amazing. Deadlift here by Warlord. Deadlifting Italian Stallion and spins him around. Number 1 Paul Jones looking on with glee. Important match for both teams as they want to move up the rankings here in World Championship Wrestling. Double team coming up from the Powers of Pain. Shoots him in for the ride. High elevation on the double backdrop. Stallion now with a forearm blast. He's fighting back now. Double team coming up. Warlord coming in, took a swing at Wahoo. Just shoved him there. Big right hand. He floored Wahoo McDaniel. Wahoo gets right up to his feet, but Barbarian, he is dazed. Talking about Wahoo. Barbarian has him. Beautiful suplex. TV title match coming up next, fans. Arn Anderson taking on Manny Fernandez, who is a substitution for the injured Ron Garvin. Wahoo from behind. That right hand had very little effect on Barbarian, but that shoulder tackle takes him down. Good strength there from Wahoo McDaniel, who is a former football player. Pulling on the arm, trying to force a submission from the Barbarian. Barbarian trying to restore feeling into the arm. We got 5 programs coming for you in August. Our next one will be August 9th, next Saturday, 6:05 p.m. Eastern Time. The action continues here in WCW. Picks him up. Into the corner. What a move there by Barbarian. Wahoo McDaniel was charging in for a spear, but Barbarian caught him and nailed him with that DDT. And Barbarian now picks him up. Powerbomb with authority. Wahoo fighting back. Clothesline there by McDaniel. Barbarian fights back. Good takedown. Into the corner goes McDaniel. All 4 of these men will be involved in the Battle Bowl, the Lethal Lottery anyway, not necessarily the Battle Bowl. You've got to win your Lethal Lottery match to make it to the Battle Bowl. We could very well see Barbarian facing off against Warlord on opposite teams. It's the luck of the draw. You'll draw the name. Their name will be drawn out of a hat, I should say. And the first 2 names drawn will form a tag team. And they'll take on the names, or they'll take on the wrestlers who are drawn next. Good fall-away slam there by Warlord. The winner will be declared the Battle Bowl champion of 2025 and will receive a world title match at any point within 12 months. Cover here by the Warlord. Referee Bill Scott was tied up talking to the Barbarian, trying to keep him out of the ring. So Barbarian hurt his own team there by that distraction. Tag made to the Barbarian. Good headbutt there. It'll be a 15-minute time limit in the next match for the TV title. I know Manny Fernandez would love to have had an extra 5 minutes added on, but he won't get that. That luxury was given to Brad Armstrong at the Great American Bash last week, but Anderson came out on top. Barbarian using the torture rack, the human torture rack on the on Chief Wahoo McDaniel. That is a move we've seen Lex Luger use. Luger, of course, came up short in that Falls Count Anywhere match last week. This time he lands the spear in the corner. Might have cracked the rib. Wahoo stomping away on the Barbarian. Wahoo claw in the eyes. Barbarian is down. Wahoo trying to catch his breath. Wahoo keeps touching the ribs. He might have injured himself here. He might have been injured. Here comes... What a shoulder tackle there by the Warlord. Wahoo was grabbing the ribs, really favoring him. Barbarian trying to capitalize on that by going for a bear hug, but Wahoo fighting back. Wahoo might have been injured by the Barbarian earlier on, perhaps the ribs. He was going for a figure four, but the Warlord interrupts that. Good suplex there, good strong suplex by the Warlord. And a cover by Barbarian, this might be all. Hooks the leg, 1, 2, near fall. Good move there by Barbarian. The Powers of Pain would love to challenge the Rock and Roll Express for the World Tag Team titles. If they can win here tonight, they could very well be in line for a title shot. But McDaniel and Wahoo would love to get a title shot as well. 1, 2, down goes Italian Stallion, knocked off the apron by the big Warlord. And Barbarian blowing red mist. We have not seen him do that before. Luckily, it was not into the eyes of Chief Wahoo McDaniel. Perhaps it was blood, maybe. I don't know. Either blood or red mist. Again, Barbarian now. Going to put Wahoo up in that rack once more. And this might be all that Wahoo can stand. He's got it locked in. Wahoo, flailing around, though, might be able to get Barbarian off balance. That's his only hope. Unless the Italian Stallion will come in and help him. But Wahoo fights free. Wahoo. I don't think Wahoo knows where he is right now. Just trying to fight at anything that moves. Swing at anything that moves. And now Wahoo has Barbarian up. Pile driver. He planted him. Great execution by Wahoo McDaniel. He needs to make the tag. And he'll get over and tag his partner, the Italian Stallion. Things looking good now for Wahoo and Stallion. He stomps the leg of the fallen Barbarian. But Barbarian catches the leg and kicked him. He kicked him hard. And now the Barbarian has him up. Backbreaker. He just spun him around. Dropped him back first over that hard knee. Short arm clothesline by the Stallion. And the Stallion and Wahoo looking very good here this evening against this much larger team. Wahoo tagged back in. Here comes the Barbarian. He'll tag in Warlord. Good punch there by Wahoo. Sends him in for the ride. He speared him in the corner. And now Wahoo choking away on Warlord. As I said, we're with you until 6:50, but we'll stay with you longer, if need be, to bring you the TV title match coming up next. Gut wrench suplex there by the Warlord. And now Warlord trying to force Wahoo McDaniel to cry uncle. Fans, good news to report. Magnum TA will be okay. He sustained some chair shots, and he'll be under concussion protocol this evening, but expected to make a full recovery, thankfully. Still no word from the hospital about Ron Garvin. Good double team there. Paul Jones now up on the apron, trying to distract referee Bill Scott, but he is ignoring him, thankfully. Bill Scott, the referee, just ignored number one Paul Jones. But Warlord with a belly-to-belly suplex brings Italian Stallion back into the ring the hard way. And now Warlord just taunting the Stallion. He's just taunting him now. Cobra clutch. And Italian Stallion's fading fast. It's over. It's over. Referee calls for the bell. The Powers of Pain victorious here this evening, and they continue their winning ways in World Championship Wrestling, defeating the Italian Stallion and Chief Wahoo McDaniel this evening. What a brainbuster earlier on by Barbarian, and a big vicious slam by the Warlord. See Wahoo trying to put on that figure 4, but here comes the big Warlord in. Broke up the move, and then delivers a snap suplex. Another brainbuster from Barbarian. They are your winners.
Are your winners, the Barbarian and Warlord, the Powers of Pain.
Don't touch that dial, wrestling fans. Our TV title main event match is coming up next.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the WCW World Television Championship.
What an opportunity for the Raging Bull Manny Fernandez. 15-minute time limit in this one. He and Anderson wrestled to a time limit draw weeks ago, right here in this program. And he has been rewarded with a rematch here tonight in the absence of the injured Ron Garvin. Anderson currently the only member of the Horsemen to hold a title. Ric Flair no longer the world champion if you're just joining us. He lost that world championship last week at the Great American Bash to Magnum TA inside the steel cage. But Flair, of course, seeking revenge. He attacked Magnum here tonight with a steel chair. And Flair is wanting a rematch for the title. We saw all the former champions attacking the newly crowned champions here this evening. Nikita Koloff attacked Sting. Ivan Koloff and Baron von Raschke sneak attacked Rick Steiner and Eddie Gilbert. Magnum TA, of course, attacked by Nature Boy Ric Flair. And the Midnight Express attacked the new World Tag Team Champions, the Rock and Roll Express. James J. Dillon accompanying his man, the TV champion Arn Anderson, to the ring. This is for the World Television Championship. We have seen all of our champions here in action this evening. Well, everybody except for the U.S. Tag Champs, that is. They did not get to wrestle thanks to Baron von Raschke and Ivan Koloff. That match was thrown out against Thunderfoot 1 and 2. Anderson holding up the sign of the Horseman, the 4 fingers. Let's go down to our ring announcer.
Introducing the challenger from El Paso, Texas, weighing in at 275 pounds, Man E. Fernandez. Introducing the champion from Minneapolis, Minnesota, weighing in at 225 pounds, he is the WCW World Television Champion, the Enforcer, Arn Anderson.
You know you're a wrestling fan when you come across the term horseman and just your automatic reflexes for your hand to raise and you hold out the 4 fingers. I did that a few weeks ago. My wife and I were reading the Bible. We read through the Bible every year. It was either in Psalms or Acts, because we're doing like part New Testament, part Old Testament at the same time. And we came across the word horseman, and I had to raise the 4. It just happens. It happens too if I'm watching TV and then Ric Flair suddenly appears on TV out of nowhere unexpectedly. I just raise the 4 fingers. Let me know if you do the same thing. Manny Fernandez taking it to Arn Anderson. Good backbreaker there by the Raging Bull. And he is calling out to the sold-out crowd. A lot of fans, I think, wanted to see Ron Garvin take on Anderson. But Manny Fernandez making the most of it here. Cover here by the Raging Bull. Easy kick out by the champion. We've seen so many title changes in the last week. Will we see another here this evening? Good backbreaker there by the Raging Bull. Fernandez loves to use that flying forearm shot. He calls it a flying burrito. Armbar here by Manny Fernandez. Anderson, of course, the master of the spine buster and also the DDT. Snaps the head down. Anderson going to work on the leg. Good leg lock here by Double A. Anderson has looked so impressive in his TV title defenses. Even the matches that have gone to a draw, he has given it his all to defend that TV title. Good Boston Crab here by the Enforcer. Fernandez in trouble, using the leg strength to get out of the move. And now Fernandez wrapping up the champion. Time moves so quickly in these TV title matches. Fernandez has to make the most of each second. Anderson does not have to defeat Fernandez. Good jabs there by the champ. Really rocked Manny Fernandez. And now Double A going for a figure four leg lock. And he has it locked in on the challenger. Fernandez trying not to submit. James J. Dillon thinks it's over. Raises his arms in victory. But Fernandez trying to turn it over, trying to reverse the pressure, and he will. But Anderson will break the hold. Fernandez first to his feet. Big forearm shot there by the Raging Bull. And a Boston Crab, or excuse me, a camel clutch applied. Anderson battling free. Trips him up. Double A has him up. Standing vertical suplex. Right hands here by the Enforcer. As you know, I have a pretty extensive wrestling figure collection. Nothing really, I don't like to keep things that are sealed. I like them to be out loose and they just stand next to each other on the shelf. Good move there by Fernandez. Cover here by the Raging Bull. New champion. 1, 2. No. Easy kick out there by Double A before the count of 2. I have all of the WCW Galoob line in the US collection, that is. All 12 of those guys. Right hands there by the Enforcer. I think at last count I have 30 Hasbro figures, including Hulk Hogan. I have the first Hogan, the military press slam Hogan. Cover here by the champion. On the LGN line, I only have like 12 of those, 13. But I have Hogan. I bought him several years back on eBay. Got him for around $15, I think, shipped. That included the shipping, and he's in good shape, too. Good move there by the Enforcer. So glad to have all those in the collection. Maybe we'll do a wrestling figure collection tour of the room one day. If you're interested in seeing that, let me know. I have, I think, 25 of the AWA Remco guys. Good move there by the Raging Bull. As a kid, I liked the Remco figures over the LJNs. I guess just because I was more of a National Wrestling Alliance fan. Good clothesline there by Fernandez. My parents weren't made of money, so I didn't have all the figures either. I could only pick maybe one a week. My dad used to take me to the store to pick one out every Friday after he got paid. Back then they were like $5, maybe as much as 10. But I think $5 usually bought you a wrestling figure in like 1986. 1985, 1986. Spine buster there by the champion. I have a Hulk Hogan figure that's actually a shampoo bottle. Cover here by the Enforcer. Wasted a lot of time. Found it at a garage sale a few years back. And I still have it, of course. It's empty, thankfully. I think it'd be kind of weird to have shampoo in there. DDT by the Enforcer. He plastered in cover. It's over. Successful title defense for the Enforcer, Arn Anderson. And this time, he defeats Manny Fernandez with time to spare. Can anybody defeat Arn Anderson? He is your World Television Champion. Impressive win by the Enforcer. If he had not hesitated, I think he would have pinned him right there. But still lands the DDT and scores the 1-2-3. Your winner and still TV champion, the Enforcer, Arn Anderson.
Here is your winner and still WCW World Television Champion, the Enforcer, Arn Anderson.
Thank you so much for tuning in this evening. I'll see you here again next Saturday night at 6:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Have a great week. Anderson's ready for all comers.